So the next installment in the MCU was The Incredible Hulk, which also released in my freshman year of high school. In all honesty, the first time I watched it was earlier this year when my friend and I were attempting that watch challenge. I most recently watched The Incredible Hulk on November 3rd, 2018. There weren't really any standout moments for me. Okay, actually, there's one quote. Let's see here. Oh, it's when Banner says in Brazilian Portuguese, "You won't like me when I'm hungry?" No, wait, that's not right. Yeah, he mixed up hungry and angry, but you know, when you're hungry, you can get kind of angry. And I just felt like that was kind of funny and relatable because in my time of unemployment, my break, self-reflection, between jobs, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna take some time to focus on my health a little bit. Try to lose some weight, and you know, obviously that entails dieting. And if you can tell, I like food, so it's gonna be kind of hard, but you know, gotta power through. Not Hulk out, but just power through. And since that was the only real relatable moment, I'm gonna take a look at the more overall, or I'm gonna take a look at the more overarching idea, if you want to call it, behind the Hulk, and just trying to control anger and emotions. So sometimes I can be a very angry person. Usually just having outbursts. Sad to say at 25, sometimes I still have them. You know, not proud of them. The most recent outburst or tantrum was when I was trying to put together a piece of IKEA furniture. Now, it's a piece of IKEA furniture that I moved from my old place when I was still employed back home. And I tried to put it back together, but in putting it back together, it fell apart. And I thought I could remedy it by using more nails and screws. And when it fell apart for the second and last time, I freaked out. I blew up, and the part that sucks is my mom was there to see it. It's kind of a shame because that was a nice piece of IKEA furniture that we really could have used. Anyway, but I think the reason why I blew up is because, as small as it is, or I guess the reason why I freaked out is the way I was seeing it, as irrational as it is. If I couldn't put together a stupid piece of IKEA furniture together, how am I supposed to get my life together? And, you know, with me, usually my outbursts, my tantrums, they build over time. Like I just try to deal with it on the daily, but eventually it builds, and more often than not, and more often than I like to admit, they come out in an outburst like that. And I really don't want to do that anymore. It takes too much energy. It's just tiring, and from what I've come to learn, it brings down the people around me, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm just trying to learn how to cope, learn how to deal with it. And I feel like reflecting, recording, and doing this kind of helps. And you know, again, it's stuff I used to do in therapy, which helped me a lot. And hopefully I can take what I learned and keep doing it and grow. I do have to admit, it's better than what I used to do, which was, you know, self-pain, self-harm, I wouldn't cut myself, but I would slam my head against anything I could find. Wall, desk, fists, books. It hurt like hell. It was easier to hide than scars. Although there were maybe a few instances where I would hit my head so hard it left a bump and I'd lie and say I tripped. There are clips and montages of Bruce Banner trying to control the Hulk, trying to keep him from getting out by using a heart monitor and trying to keep his heart rate down and trying to calm himself when he knows that he's getting excited or aggravated. And looking at it now, and as a bit of a stretch as it is to look at it this way, maybe the Hulk in my life isn't the angry version of me. It could be, in a way, my life, in that I'm trying to find a way to control my life, in that I'm trying to figure it out and get it together. As a single 25-year-old who is unemployed, I'm not where I quote-unquote should be. So, and I'm in the middle of trying to figure out my life, trying to figure out what I want to do and try to get it together, as we try to say, or trying to adult. I don't feel like I have it together at all. And don't get me wrong, I'm not, I don't think I'm depressed right now. But if it stacks on top of it, it's definitely not gonna help. So right now I'm just okay. And I'm keeping in mind it could get worse before it gets better. But it's a long process. It's, as they usually say, it's a journey. And as I experience things and as I go through it, actively trying to figure out what it is that I want to do and where I want to go and where I want to be, it's gonna take some time. I've set a goal for myself. By April or May, I should have a good idea of what it is that I want to do and where I want to go. By that time, I may figure out that aerospace engineering was always the career choice for me. Or I'm going to figure out that it's not. And I've found something else. And come that time, I'm going to make the commitment to pursue whichever I figure out. That, and as I mentioned earlier, as I hopefully by then I've become a little bit healthier. Maybe I'll lose weight, and as I do these videos, maybe there will be a noticeable, and maybe as I do these videos, there will be a noticeable progression in my health and weight loss. So we'll see. 6 months is a long time. So right now, as you see before you, is the first Bruce Banner. The Edward Norton Banner. I haven't quite figured out my role yet. Maybe by the end of this I will evolve into the Mark Ruffalo Bruce Banner. The one who, I have no idea what I'm saying.